Hi everyone, this is Jacqui Cooper with JCooperTravels, Crypto Mom 2 and Love Travel Scotland. I'm sharing this on all my various channels because I think this is so important for our world. And I wanted today's topic is all about solar. And for a while I've been talking about this, and I have the exciting news that this past week or so, I actually officially became a solar owner. And I'm really excited. I'll be sharing pictures of the panels going up on my roof, and it was super easy. And as a result of my going solar and my, caring about why we should go solar, I also decided in full transparency to become an affiliate with the company that put the panels on, Power. So I invite anyone who's listening to our conversation today to reach out to me so that way I can just chat with you about how you can easily go solar. And we're going to be talking about the advantages of this during our conversation. Today I have a friend of mine who I've known for a number of years. He's actually in a totally different time zone than me. So I appreciate him hopping on. Rand, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on.
Yeah. So where are you today? Because I know you travel around.
Oh, so I'm in South Africa. My family and I decided to relocate here
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago from the Philippines. My wife's job took her overseas, and we ended up in the Philippines. We decided to move. Every decade we move. Basically, we were in Florida for 10 years, Philippines, and now we're in South Africa in Johannesburg. It's really lovely here. Nice weather. So it's a good time of year. It's summer. So, and we're up about a mile high, actually. So
Very cool. Very cool. So you actually introduced me to the solar aspect, and you helped
it's pretty good.
me. Yeah, you helped me educate myself and others on the advantages of going solar. I'm going to share my screen in a second, so that way, the viewers who are on YouTube can see it. And for those on audio, definitely hop over. And again, for everyone who's listening, I will have the links embedded, so that way you can reach out to me as well as to check it out for yourself. But Rand, I know we're going to be talking about some tips, overall tips, but can you talk about why, if people are curious about solar or haven't really taken that next step, why should they be thinking about this, especially now?
Okay, good. So yeah, solar. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go solar. There's a major reason is to to help clean the air and help clean the environment. I think it's time we've done a lot of the Industrial Revolution, and we put a lot of made a lot of stuff, and we progressed a lot. But now I think attention is turning back to the problems we've created, and maybe the ways we're going about it is not really as sustainable as it could be. So solar is a way to kind of clean the air. There's less emissions from burning fossil fuels, and that's the first reason. On a more personal level, and this is really where solar is the growth curve is taking off, is that energy rates, electricity rates are up about 14-15% year over year. That's really high. In Florida, they're doing rate hikes this year. You have all these factors happening. A lot of people are moving to certain states, and that's creating more demand. You have extreme weather events, and those costs are put on the homeowners. You have a lot of various other factors, even interest rates going up to try to rein in inflation. A lot of these utility companies have a lot of debt on their books. So there's a lot of things that really show that the future is going to be, even if inflation gets under control, that energy inflation, electricity inflation is going to keep going up. Right now at 14% a year, whatever around that, in about 5 years, your power bill will double. Now it should come down from that, but let's say it doubles in 10 years. So really, when you look at solar from an economic point of view, you're basically taking an ever-escalating power bill that's inflation exposed. It goes up every year. It's like death and taxes and your utility bill going up. It's going to go up. Okay, you know that, and it's been going up pretty fiercely. So it goes up every year. And what you do with solar is you own your own power, and you basically stop overpaying, because now you're going to switch. Typically, you'll take your existing power bill, let's say it's $250 a month, and you'll swap it for a solar payment. And that solar payment is now today $250 a month. So that's a wonderful deal, because now you have a fixed payment at $250. It's almost like if you have a mortgage payment and you're switching in a highly volatile environment, you're switching from a variable rate to a fixed rate. That's a very smart move. Okay, and this is basically taking a variable energy payment. Every payment you make goes to purchasing your own energy producing asset. So it's like pulling from one pocket and the other you're paying yourself. The same reason why you want to own a home versus rent a home. So these are kind of the basic principles that I think are not fully known by.
So I'm going to hop in for a second.
People. Cost zero affects.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm going to hop in for a second and just kind of mention that, you know, depending upon, you know, where you're located, there are definitely, you know, tax advantages to doing solar, and just knowing that you're, you know, owning your own power. I want to go over to some of the tips that you wanted to share. So do you want to share your screen, and we're going to give everyone some tips on how this also can, you know, from the global picture, why you need to be looking at this.
Okay, can you see that, Jackie?
Yep, I can see the HESH report, 12 homeowner energy saving hacks. And I know we're always looking to save money because then we can put money into travel and some other things. So Rand, what are these saving strategies that families can be looking at?
Okay, so in general, you know, one day we took a step back, and I was asking our partner Randy about, you know, other ways we can save money for homeowners, because in the largest, you know, we have a very purpose-driven mission to help with the environment and help keep more cash flow in the family. There's the two things that solar do that are very meaningful. So in a larger scope, like, yes, so we thought we can help them save money in other ways, and I consider solar an inexpensive way to save money on your home. Now, it's not inexpensive as a system, but if you're swapping bills and there's nothing out of pocket, then it's very accessible. Let's put it that way. So we started looking at what else actually fills that mandate, what actually delivers that value, what cuts the energy production and helps the environment in that regard, and what helps keep more cash flow in the family. So we started asking around and asking electricians and various people in solar and contractors, and came up with a list. We call it homeowner energy savings hacks. Now, these are things that, you know, obviously we wouldn't make money on. In fact, it's a little counterintuitive for a solar company to promote these, because if we help save you money in electricity and you use less electricity, there's less panels on your roof. But it does fulfill our mandate. We're perfectly happy to show value and help out. So these are things that are, you know, go through them, that will help you, you know, a couple $100 very inexpensively to shave off on your overall power production. You can hire a handyman. You can call TaskRabbit, which is a little app you can use, handy person to come and help you out. Or you can do it yourself if you're pretty handy yourself. So the first one, this was interesting. Install foam wall plate sealers behind each electrical wall plate. So on the walls on the outside of your home, you know, you're basically trying to create a thermal envelope. Okay, those things are little pockets that will just drain, you know, heat or cool air out of your house, and, you know, vice versa, and bring the hot air in or the cool air in. So it also has the advantage of preventing pests from crawling in. But this is the light switches, the outlets, and it's literally just a little foam seal that you take the screws off and put it in there. They're super cheap, and you just put them in all your outlets, and it can save you about 4 to 10% in your power bill. That's pretty remarkable. Now, some people have you know, insulation, but it might be a little older. They might 10, 20 years. The technology has increased quite a bit. However, when you do, this is number 2, by the way. When you do insulation, it can be expensive. It can be a couple $1,000, $3,000 to $4,000. But you can just get this reflective radiant barrier insulation. That's kind of like the astronaut blankets, the blankets you have, the really reflective ones you can have in your emergency kit in your car. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're inexpensive. Sometimes you can get them at the 99-cent store, or, you know, hopefully the same technology. But and then what you do is you know, staple gun them up in your rafters in your attic, or to prevent you know, the energy from, say, hot energy especially, from coming in, and just reflects it back. That can save you about 5–10%. Another one, now you can get a timer often from your electrical company, and a time thermostat. You can get a thermostat from them. Sometimes they're free or they're discounted. And you can, when you leave, you can remotely with an app typically, or just, you know, set it to go down. And over an 8-hour block of time, you'll save about 1% for every degree you turn it down. For an 8-hour block of time, you'll save about 1% of your power bill. So if you drop your temp by 10% over 8 hours, can result in as much as 10% savings in your power bill. So just not using it when you're there and having the technology to do so, it's definitely readily available, and that's inexpensive to put in. So another one, get a tankless, actually, I jumped ahead.
That's
There we
okay.
go. So turn the water, this is number 4. Every 10 degrees will reduce the amount by 3 overall consumption. So, typically the manufacturer setting is 140, 150. You set it down to 120, that's saving you quite a bit. It can be up 3% off your power bill. That's a quick fix. It also means when you turn the hot water, you're not going to scald yourself. So it's an added benefit of that. Of course, it will heat up a little, slower on a bath or whatnot, but not necessarily. You just turn the hot and navigate accordingly. So that's one I found that kind of interesting. Insulate your water heater tank with a blanket. Most people have this, some sort of insulation. Some of it's fallen down if you take a look, or some people hadn't done it. So to insulate it is a big factor, and you can change the heating element. So get a handy person or whatever to do that. That gets kind of caked up sometimes with calcium and other kind of minerals, and doesn't work as well. So you can change it. And I have a solar professional here in South Africa saying, you can drop at least 10 kilowatts a day per water heater by doing that, by putting the blanket on and getting a timer on it. Also, you can put a timer on it, and then putting changing the heating element. That's a lot. At 15 cents a kilowatt, that's $45 a month, as much as 15% savings. So I was really impressed with that as well. Now we look at, you get to a little more complicated, but not so much. You can add, number 6 is add caulking or weather stripping to seal any air leaks around leaky doors or windows. Save about 7 to 8% in your power bill. It might cost you a little money, $250 or so, but that's fine. And then you can, next step 7 is seal the air leaks around utility cut throughs for pipes. So look under your sink in your bathroom, and the pipes come in. Is there foam sealant around those pipes? Again, you're trying to create a thermal envelope. Okay, so any holes in the wall that will let air in and out are definitely not cost efficient, and will use more energy. So fireplace, this is a kind of fun one. I actually laughed at this one because you can access the fireplace for any efficiencies and consider using ceiling balloons that can save as much as 10%. Now, when I was doing the research for this, there's a lot of solutions. You can get in, different vents and this and that for the fireplace, and they're more expensive and complex. But I found really simple was that when you're not using it in the off months, you get a balloon and you seal it up. That's really inexpensive. Okay, and then when you turn the fire on, the balloon pops. That's it. So I was really impressed with that, how simple that was. And you're basically, again, the thermal envelope, that's a big hole, right?
Yeah,
And
it is.
it's a big gap. It's a vent, right? So I found that was a really nice one for what I was happy to come across. If you have a pool, so this is where getting, as I go down the list, it gets a little more expensive, but you put a variable pool pump in with a good timer, it can save you as much as 80% on your pool energy demand. Why? Because there are these pumps that run at full speed constantly, and some people haven't really upgraded that yet. You don't really need all that. You can do lesser speeds and higher speeds, and then timing, and variable pool pump does that. It saves as much as 80%. Now, pools are very expensive. They're energy hogs, so you can save as much as 20% of your overall power bill. A variable pool pump will cost you maybe $2,000-3,000. The economics will work out over time, so it's not really as good a hack as the other ones, as inexpensive, but it's something you should look at and consider if you don't have a variable pool pump. Now, this one I should have maybe put higher on the list because you upgrade your lighting, it's not as expensive. Lighting can be massively overlooked. The average household spends 15% on lighting alone. So of course, LEDs can consume 10 to 20% of the old lights. They're about 80 to 90% more efficient. And you can also do solar lights, outdoor lights. Outdoor lights allow you to, I lost the screen. Do you want to?
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So also solar lights outdoors, that requires no energy. You put those in place and all your outdoor lighting could be solar, and that's very helpful. We've had some blackouts here, and it's nice to have your outdoor lighting work, especially on a motion sensor, and usually it's a Hadi or something, but it's good to have some lighting on the outside. We're very grateful for that. So get it, and then 11, get a tankless water heater. That's going to cost you something, but they can save a lot, quite a bit, and that's instead of having the full tank water heater. It's going to cost you some money again, a couple $1,000 or so, but it will pencil out over time. Finally, you have energy efficient appliances. Fridges and dishwashers and washers and dryers. Some of the new ones can cut consumption as much as 50% if you have appliances over a decade old. For those appliances, and most appliances consume about 13–15% of the average American household. And some of there's some rebates you can get as well. I'll give you a bonus one too. This is kind of an obvious one, which I didn't put in here, but I'm going to add to it as kind of a bonus because I can leave it at 12. And the bonus is, unplug your appliances, when you're not using them. It's a very kind of old world thing. You'll see people doing it. And I didn't realize how much. A friend told me you can save as much as 30% on your energy. And I was like, whoa, can't believe I don't have that in there. Again, this was new to me. I got a couple of these tips given to me, and I said, these are wonderful. Like this is our calling card that we can help save. Our overall mandate is help save money and help save the environment, make things more sustainable on two fronts. And so I started researching, and it took a number of hours. And Jacqui, we'll have this report available to anybody who wants it, and I hope it does benefit them in those ways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, whether or not you go solar, that's your personal decision, but there are certain things that you could do within your own home to help, protect the environment as well as save money for you on your energy. Again, with going solar, it's an easy process and there's no out-of-pocket costs. So I definitely want to, mention that because you're just swapping your traditional electric bill for the solar. And it's if not equivalent, it will save you money. And definitely in the long run, you are also getting some more advantages from the tax side to the energy side to knowing that you're helping the environment. So I mean, there's just so many positive things. I know that if you today is just one of many episodes that I've done with Rand and Randy on solar. So this is just to kind of remind everyone, connect over with me so that way we can do a complimentary call to see how solar can help you. Rand, any last minute thoughts before we kind of sign off?
Well, to put in perspective, at a 7% or like a 6–7% energy inflation rate, which is about half what it is right now, you'll save over the life of our 30-year warranty about $100,000 to $200,000. That's money you can put back in the family. So that might sound unreal to you. We urge you to take a look. I would argue it's a reasonable thing to explore. They say that in the next 7 years, 35% of America will be solar. There's a reason for that. Things are you have this curve that happens, and we're right here. It's about to go vertical. And that's just enough reason to explore it. We have a very consultative approach. We're not a hard sale. We'll explain to you. We're educational. I think you can see by this report that that's kind of our ethic. And we're happy to do that. It doesn't cost anything, and definitely get value at the end of the day because you'll see what you can get from solar. And not all homes qualify. Some homes don't work out, but we're happy to show you what we can do for you.
Yeah, you did mention something which actually kind of made me realize that I needed to step up to the plate here. One of my concerns when I first started to explore the solar side was the insurance side. My question was, what would happen if something happened to my roof or, there was, damage or whatever. And one of the reasons why I decided to work with Power is the fact that there is a warranty, a 30-year warranty on installation, on the equipment. So that basically, made me feel more comfortable because it had an element of protection for the things that you can't always predict. So, again, for everyone who's listening, just reach out. There's no pressure. It's all educational. It's information. And Rand, there was one more thing you wanted to share. I can see.
Yeah. On that note, if you look at the larger picture, I had this realization recently. There's some people who like solar, not solar. It's like football teams, like, tastes great, less filling. There's this argument. And one day I realized, people that don't like solar, half the people, 40% of the people, they're both right? People have bad equipment. So we will educate you onto how solar can be done wrong and how it can be done right. And it's just an interesting look at it all that, if you hear someone had a bad experience with solar, they probably did. And solar didn't work for them, but it's the way it was done. And the nuance is important. All the boxes checked, the warranty is a big factor, the insurance. And we can explain all that in a call. So if it's done right, it's remarkable. And if it's done poorly, if you hear any negative things about solar, it's gotten out there. That's why. it can be done wrong and it can be done very right. Those are both true statements.
Yeah,
And that
very
kind of
true.
clears the clouds a little bit, I think, for people. Like, I heard it's good, I heard it's bad. And the fact is both those can be true at the same time, like a quantum computer, you know, both can be true simultaneously. It's not one or the other.
Very, very true. Very true. So I appreciate the 12 hacks that you shared. And for everyone who's listening, again, just reach out. I'm happy to send over the PDF so that way you can implement it within your own home. Rand, as always, I know we're going to have many conversations coming up. And everyone who's listening, definitely remember, you know, on all my shows, I always say, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We're all interconnected and we're all part of one world. So have a great day. Thanks, everyone.